Hi, hello guys, welcome back to HackIsOn tutorial. So in this video we will be discussing about Ifconfig command. Okay, so I think everyone would heard about Ifconfig commands because this is the basic command which we are being, as a penetration tester and an ethical hacker, we have been used for finding out our IP address. We have been using this, right? So most of us don't know the secrets behind this ifconfig, what ifconfig exactly means. So most of us don't know about that, so we will be discussing ifconfig in detail. Okay, so what everything, each and every part of ifconfig means, we will be discussing in this video. So come on guys, let's get into the video. Okay, so what ifconfig means. So ifconfig stands for internet interface configuration. So it is used to view and change the configuration of the network interfaces of our system. Okay, so running ifconfig, there are some methods which we can use ifconfig. So the first method is without using any argument, just simply typing ifconfig. Okay, so it will show you some details like this. Okay, so it will display information of about all the network interfaces currently in operation. So the output will resemble as following in this terminal. Okay, so this will be the output of ifconfig command. So here you could see that ethernet 0, so ethernet 0, LO, WLAN 0. Okay, so these are all the names of the active networks interfaces on your system. Okay, so what ethernet 0 means. So ethernet 0 is the that means ETH 0 is the first ethernet interface, and if in additional, if you have any additional interfaces in your system, then it would be named as ETH 1, 2 and 3, and it will goes on, etc, etc. Okay, so this type of interfaces is usually NIC. Okay, so NIC means NIC connected, like this type of interface is usually a NIC connected to the network or by a category 5 cable. Okay, so what NIC means, it is network interface card, whereas category 5 is our ethernet cable. Okay, so the name of ethernet cable is category 5 cable. It is called as category 5 cable. So LO is nothing but look back. Okay, so it is called as look back interface, and this is a special network interface that the system uses to communicate with itself. Okay, so with the help of this look back, our computer will communicate with, by itself. Okay, so everyone would know about lhost, right? So that was the thing, lhost, that is 127.0.0.1. okay, so that's called as look back. And whereas WLAN 0, it's also the same as ethernet 0. So WLAN 0 is the name of the first wireless network interface on our system, and if you have any additional interfaces, then it would be named as WLAN 1, 2, 3, and it will be going, it will goes on. Okay, so these are all the traditional naming conventions of for network interfaces under Linux and Windows system. So whereas if you are using any other operating system such as BST, then it would be named as EMO. So here it will be named as EMO and EM1, sorry, like EM0, EM1, 2, 3, and it will goes on. Okay, so each and for Windows and Linux it's common, whereas in other operating systems different, it will be different. Okay, so viewing so the next command is ifconfig space -a. So this command will show you all the interfaces. Okay, so it will show you the configuration of all the interfaces in detail. So it is as same as like ifconfig, but it will but if there is any inactive interfaces on the system, their configuration will also be displayed. Okay, so that was the difference between simple if config, like if config and if config space -a. So this was the difference. If you have any inactive interface in your system or system, then it will be also shown when you are using this command. Okay, so that's the thing, it will show you all the available interfaces. Okay, so the third command is ifconfig space. So the third command is used to view the configuration of a specific interface. Okay, so here we have Ethernet 0 and WLAN 0. So whereas let's see about WLAN 0. Okay, because I have connected with WLAN, so let's see. Okay, WLAN 0 and hit enter. So here you could see that it is showing a result for only for WLAN 0. Okay, so if you mention as ETH0, then it will show you the IP address for ETH0. Okay, so if you mention it as L0, then it will show you the LO. Okay, so it will show you the details of that specific interface. That was the main usage of this command. So with the ifconfig command, you can also enable and disable an interface. Okay, so when a network interface is active, it can send and receive data. When it is an inactive, it is not able to transmit or receive. Okay, so you can use ifconfig to change the status of the network interface from inactive to active or vice versa. To enable an inactive interface, providing ifconfig with the interface name followed by the keyword up. Okay, so you have to mention it with for keyword up. So let's see, for this you need root permission. Okay, so most already I'm a root, so I don't need. Okay, so ifconfig space eth1, let's take 1. So let's check it up whether it's okay. So there is no interface called 1, so I'm mentioning 0. So we have activated the ETH0. Okay, so let's see, let's down it. Okay, so let's make it inactive and test. So I have inactivated ETH0. Okay, so here you could see that I have you can't able to find the ETH0 because I have inactivated it. Okay, so let's reactivate. Okay, so ETH0 up. Okay, so now you could see that we have reactivated the Ethernet interface. Okay, so this was the fourth command. So you can configure. So you can you can either activate or make inactive interface. Okay, so that was a usage of that command. And so you can even give a specific IP address for your interface. Okay, so to assign a specific IP address, to assign a static IP address to an interface, specify the interface name and the IP address for the for example, let's see. Okay, so ifconfig ETH0, so it won't work because this Ethernet cable is not active. Okay, so let's check it out. Okay, yes, it has worked. Okay, so we have assigned the IP address for the Ethernet 0. Okay, so I was wrong, so sorry for that, guys. Okay, so I have assigned IP address. Okay, so for the Ethernet cable, and you can also mention net mask and whereas broadcast by just simply adding net mask and broadcast command. So I'll mention it also, that also. Ifconfig eth0 net mask space 255.255.255.0. okay, so this was my ifconfig. I have changed my net mask, so let's check it out. Okay, so here you could see that have changed the net mask. Okay, so this is what I have typed here. So you could see that we have successfully changed the net mask also. Okay, so by the same way you can change the broadcast. Okay, so simply you have to mention broadcast here, like it will look like ifconfig eth0 broadcast and the followed by IP address. Okay, so let me clear everything. So let's see some detail about ifconfig command. Okay, so here you could find that what is rx packets and all. Okay, so let's see. So here you could see that inet. So inet is nothing but your system, your computers, it indicates your machine's IP. Okay, so your computer's IP address, so that's called as inet. So whereas in the middle you could be able to find up or down, sometimes you will be able to find it. Here I didn't able to find it. Okay, so if you get up or down in the middle, then this flag, that up flag, indicates the kernel modules related to the Ethernet interface has been loaded. Okay, so whereas here what is broadcast mean? So broadcast denotes the Ethernet device supports broadcasting. Okay, so that's the characteristics. It is a necessary characteristics to obtain IP address via DHCP. Okay, we'll discuss about DHCP and all in detail in our videos. Okay, so like in our future videos. So what this MTU means? So the next one is MTU. So MTU is a short form of maximum transmission unit. Okay, so maximum transmission unit is the size of each packet received by the Ethernet card. Okay, so the value of MTU for all Ethernet devices by default is set to 1500. So though you can change the value by passing the necessary options to the ifconfig command. Okay, so it says, so setting this to the higher value could hazard packet fragmentation or buffer overflows. So do compare the MTU value of your Ethernet device and look back device and see if they are same or different. Okay, so usually look back devices will have a large packet length. Okay, so here you could see that it is having a large packet length when compared with the current network interface. Okay, so the look back device will have large packet size. Okay, so the next thing is here inet 6 means it is showing the IP address in the version 6 format. Okay, so what Rx packets and TX packets means, Rx packets and TS packets means. So the next two lines shows the total number of packets received and transmitted respectively. So as you can see in the this output, the total number of errors is 0. Okay, so here you could say the Rx Rx errors value is 0. So no packets are dropped and there are no overruns. Okay, so if you find the errors or dropped value greater than 0, then it could means that the internet device is failing, or some cognitions in your network. Okay, so then there might be an issue, so check it out. Okay, so you shouldn't get any value rather than 0. So okay, so keep it in mind. So what txqlen means, so this denotes the length of the transmit queue of your device. So you can usually set it to the smaller value for slower devices with a high latency, such as modems, links, and ISDN. Okay, so what is RX bytes? So here RX bytes, so here it is not mentioned. So whereas RX bytes and TX bytes, they indicates the total amount of data that has been passed through the Ethernet interface either way. Okay, so that's the thing about that. So I think I've explained everything, bro, everything in this. Okay, so if you have any doubts, so if you have any doubts regarding this video, you can comment in the comment section. So one more thing I have to mention. So collisions is the value, collisions, I forgot about this. Okay, so collisions is the value of this field should be ideally be 0. Okay, so if it is it has a value of greater than 0, it could mean that packets are colliding while transferring your network, a sure sign of network cognition. Okay, so keep it in mind. So that's all for today, guys. So I think I have covered everything. So if you have any doubts regarding this video, you can comment in the comment box, so I'll be replying you. Or if you having any social network accounts, you can contact us directly. Okay, so kindly send the screenshot of your error. Okay, so then only we can understand and assist you. Okay, so keep supporting, guys. Share our videos to your friends, and share our channel link to your friends. So if you are a new viewer, please click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to get immediate updates. Okay, so thanks for watching. Have a nice day.